All right, in this video, we're going to be focused a lot on stretching our hips and low back, both seated in the chair, and we'll be doing some work in standing as well. So for your first stretch, cross one leg on top of the other. You're going to put your hands on the outside of that knee and gently pull towards your opposite shoulder. So in my case, my right knee is being pulled towards my left shoulder. I'm getting a great stretch right down the side of my leg into my hip, and we're just going to hold that for about 30 seconds. So when we do these prolonged stretches like this, holding for 20 or 30 seconds, just try and gently sink a little bit deeper into the stretch as you're going. 5 seconds. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. So cross that left leg over, put your hands on your left knee, and gently pull towards your right shoulder, just until you feel a stretch. Just by putting your leg in this position, you may get a stretch, and that's perfectly fine. We'll hold for another 15 seconds and switch back to the other side. All right, let's go back to the right side one more time. Cross over, pull that knee to your shoulder, and just hold. Always a good idea to think about posture when you're doing these seated stretches. And remember that you'll have one side that's tighter than the other. That's completely normal. Okay, let's switch back to that other side. Pull your knee towards your chest. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper into the stretch the second time through. Wonderful. Okay, go ahead and put those feet on the floor. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing a little better. You want to be perched right on the edge of your chair. We're going to stick one leg out in front of us. So the knee is straight, your toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. Hinge forward at your hips until you feel a stretch on the back of that leg. Once you have that stretch comfortably, I just want you to gently roll your leg from side to side. Now this motion is coming from up in my hip. I'm not just wiggling my ankle around. So keep your leg locked as one unit and roll from side to side. And you should feel the stretch continuously in the back of your leg, but it will switch from the inside to the outside muscle fibers in that hamstring. You can keep your foot and ankle nice and relaxed. No need to have it pulled towards you or pointed. Okay, let's do the other side. So stick that leg forward, hinge at the hips, and then rotate side to side. Okay, let's switch to the other side again. Hinge forward. See if you can go just a little bit farther this time before you start your rotations. And now we've got the other side. Okay, come on up onto your feet. We're again going to use the chair. I'm going to stand sideways at my chair so that I can keep a hand on the back of the chair for a little bit of extra balance support. I'm going to have you guys stick one heel up on the seat of the chair. Hinge forward, and you should get a great stretch in that hamstring, in the back of your leg. Sometimes, depending on the height of the chair, you may not have to lean forward very far. Just putting the leg up there is often a good stretch. So do what's comfortable. All right, let's switch to the other side. Heel on the chair, hinge forward. I'm going to put my hand here to give me a little stability. And as we're holding, just try and sink a little deeper, never forcing it, never bouncing or forcing your way into that stretch. It should just feel like you're gradually sinking into it. Okay, let's repeat this on each side one more time. Heel up, knees straight, hinge forward. And we'll do the other side. Good. Okay, our next stretch, I'm going to have you guys, whatever side the back of your chair is on. So in my case, it's on my left side, so I'm going to put my left foot up on the chair. I'm going to hold on with my left hand, and I'm going to wiggle my right foot back as far as I can. So I'm in this nice giant lunge step. From there, I'm going to stand up nice and straight, push my hips forward, and then stretch my right arm overhead. Still holding on just for balance. And I'm getting a great stretch from my shoulder right down through the front of my hip. These muscles are tight on a lot of us because we spend too much time sitting during the day. Bring the arm down. Let's go into that stretch again. So push the hips forward, arm overhead. We'll hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. Good. All right, I'm going to walk around to the other side of my chair so I can stretch the other side. Oops, right leg goes up this time. Left leg wiggles back. Push the hips forward. Arm overhead. And then we'll hold. And relax. Let's do that one more time. Push the hips forward. Arm overhead. And hold. And down. Good. All right, the next stretch can be modified in a couple of ways. I'm going to do this starting out with my hands on the back of the chair, the higher. surface. So I'm going to plant my hands here. I'm going to walk my feet back just a little bit. With this stretch, it's important to keep the knees straight so you're not in a squat position at all. So your knees are straight. I'm going to push my hips back and let my head drop down in between my arms. And if you're able to keep your knees straight, you'll get a great stretch down the back of both legs and maybe up into the back. So we're going to hold here, push those hips up towards the ceiling, drop the head down, and hold. Sink a little lower into the stretch. And come on back up. I'm going to come around and show you what that looks like on a lower surface. If that was a fairly intense stretch for your second one, stay right where you were at the back of the chair. If I were to put my hands down on the seat of the chair, I can get a little more into that forward fold position. I'm still keeping my knees straight. I'm still pushing my hips up towards the ceiling. My head is still dropping down in between my arms, but the stretch is more intense. More seconds here, it feels good. Great. All right, come on up. One final stretch in this video. Have a seat right on the edge of your chair. Hands on your thighs. We are going to do a seated cat and cow. So for this one, I think I'll turn sideways. I want you to imagine that curve in your low back. To start with, we are going to reverse the curve. So our lower back is in a C shape, the letter C. And then we're going to push through our hands, come back up into a neutral spine. Never overextending. I don't want to see any big giant arches in your spine. So round forward and come up. Round forward. And up. Let's do 3 more of these. And this one we're not holding as long. We're kind of pausing in each position and then reversing. Last one, round forward, and then up to neutral. Nice work today.